There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Extra Life 2025, the Ouija's 11th annual Extra Life 24-hour stream for the Children's Hospital ward here in Salinas, California. Here I have with me Leonela, the hospital representative that I get to work closely with. And please, Leonela, introduce yourself, and what do you do for the hospital?
Hi, everyone. I'm Leonela Gonzalez, and I am a fundraiser for Salinas Valley Health Medical Center. And I specifically fundraise for pediatric health, meaning anything that has to do with pediatric programs and services. I'm working in the community to raise funds for those kiddos.
Nice. And you work with a whole bunch of, I think you also work with us on the Extra Life end, as well as corporate sponsors as well. And we've had some really cool meetings between us, and we have some cool things shaken up, just kind of in the background, right?
We do. We do. Which one comes to mind?
Well, I was thinking maybe us working with Osh or working with
Ah,
Ace Hardware and maybe putting on a tournament between a couple of places in Panda Express. I thought that was always a good one. So hopefully
yeah.
we'll get those set up this year, and I'm very excited to be part of that, to be part of this team. So
Absolutely. You touched on the national corporate partners. So, a little bit more about the fundraising kind of model for Children's Miracle Network programs. So, I'm in the Monterey Salinas market. I cover the Monterey, Santa Cruz, and San Benito counties. And a good chunk of the fundraising that happens is through our partnerships, through our national corporate partners. You just mentioned Panda. You mentioned Outdoor Supply Hardware. Um, there's Costco, there's Walmart, there's Chevron, there's Love's. There's a ton of national corporate partners that rally to raise funds for kids' health here locally. And then there's a programs piece of the Children's Miracle Network, and that's why we're here today. One
Mhm.
of those programs is for Life, where folks like you essentially game for kids' health, right? So you have a passion for pediatric health and you marry that with your other passion, which is gaming. And now you're making a significant impact in the community that you live, and kids are better for it. So, yeah, Extra Life, huge deal from a program perspective in the Children's Miracle Network space.
we're happy. Us gamers are happy to work alongside you guys and really make a change for good. I know that we were talking about corporate partners, and I found some of these balloons, which are kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna be writing the names of the first handful of people and throwing them up on the back wall, just like they do at the corporate level. So if you want one, you got to get in soon.
Yeah.
Uh, but I wanted to ask you about some special kids that I've gotten to meet, and maybe you can talk a little about them. Jessica, which was our champion child from last year, and Nico, who's our champion child from this year.
Yeah. So every year, Children's Miracle Network at the local level selects a champion child. They're essentially the face of the fundraising program for the entire year. And how do we go about selecting these kids? So we look for children that have benefited from the services and the programs that Children Miracle Network fundraising makes possible, right? So you mentioned Jessica. Jessica, our amazing 2024 local champion child. Jessica's now 11 years old. So we met Jessica when she was 8 or 9 years old. I met Jessica at Days of Discovery. So this was an event that was happening at the time at Monterey Bay Aquarium, and we were helping fund that program. And it's essentially a scuba diving experience for children with different abilities. It's surface scuba diving. But I remember working with Jessica and her grandma to get her registered for that. And then some of the logistics of that day as well. Long story short, Jessica, who has autism and ADHD, was really having a hard time putting on the suit, getting in the water. But towards the end of her session, she was definitely more comfortable and enjoying her time in the water. So that's how I met Jess, and I got to learn about her and her story. And again, a beneficiary of the Days of Discovery program. And then I was sharing with mom our pediatric medical needs assistance program, where through that program, that's also made possible through donor dollars, we're able to purchase medically beneficial services or equipment, right? And then we learned that Jessica had a need. She could definitely benefit from aquatic and equestrian therapy to
Mm-hmm.
support her needs on the autism spectrum disorder, right? Those things aren't cheap. And your traditional insurance program is likely not going to pay for it.
Right.
So that's grant program kind of meets us in the middle or fills that gap, if you will, right? So thankfully, we were able to fund Jessica's equestrian and aquatic therapies. And we've been doing so till this day, still supporting her with her aquatic therapy, right? And we're talking thousands of dollars later. This stuff is not cheap. So that's a huge one. So we, again, met Jessica, learned about her needs. We felt like she was the perfect child to represent Children's Miracle Network in 2024 because she had benefited from all of these community programs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we move forward to this year where Nico, who is 13 now, um, is the face and champion of the 2025 CMN year. And Nico, he
He's a cool
actually
kid. He's a real
he's
cool
a
kid.
cool kid, and he comes out to our gaming events. He was just in a tournament.
He was
He
just
was
in a
doing
tournament.
really good.
Yeah.
Smash Bros. No, it was Mario Kart.
Yeah,
What
he
was
was in. I think he was in both Smash Bros. And Mario
it?
Kart, but he did a pretty
Yeah,
good job in the Smash Bros.
he did. He had to leave in the middle of, well, after his first round of Mario Kart. I think he would have gotten pretty far if he didn't
Mm-hmm.
have to leave. But anyway, um, he has epilepsy and he has asthma, and he was diagnosed very young. He ended up in the emergency department with RSV, and then that just kind of trickled the asthma, and then epilepsy followed, all in the very young years of like the first 2 years of his life.
Yep.
So where we have Jessica, a child who's been benefiting from the community programs that are possible because of the fundraised dollars. Now we're looking at Nico, who is benefiting from the services within the walls of Salinas Valley Health Medical Center,
Yep.
right? Um, so he spent a lot of time in the emergency department his entire young life.
Mm-hmm.
So he became very familiar with the space, and he was taken care of. So a lot of our raised or fundraised dollars in the ER, you'll see them represented in comfort care items, right? Nico has like, I think, 7 teddy bears and he collects them.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
keeps them like trophies. I remember him talking about it. He like trophifies them.
those are scary times. But every time he was in the ER, he received one of these plush animals, and now he has them as keepsakes. I mean, it's kind of a scary thing, but now there's kind of a sweet thing that he has. And it gave him comfort when he was admitted or was being taken care of in the ER. And the same is true. A lot of times he ended up upstairs in the pediatric unit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he got another plush animal there. But beyond that, he had access to a playroom that was stocked with every single toy you can think of, I think, or type of toy, and video consoles and books and arts and crafts.
All the things to do to take his mind off of the scariness that is, the hospital.
Right, right. I'm going to pause. I need to grab water.
You're good. Go.
So the pediatric unit, it has a playroom, and that playroom is stocked up with toys, pajamas, plushies, books, reading books, writing books, coloring books, crayons, stickers, you name it, right? Video consoles that actually can be rolled into your room. So if you're not well enough to go in a playroom, then these come meet you in your private room. We've got VR goggles, right? So
Yep.
all things, again, made possible because of donor support. And then we've also talked about the pieces of equipment that are very unique to taking care of pediatric patients. I think we've talked in the past about the popular vein viewer, right?
Yep, yep.
One, right? And we've talked about how, yes, a vein viewer in a pediatric unit makes a lot of sense because it takes the guessing out of where the vein is. At least it facilitates that process. But it finds its place, or it, grows these little eggs, and then it ends up in the adult unit or in the ER,
They
right?
all
So
want it, it's
they all
easy.
want, but we make sure that there's one in our pediatric unit for our kiddos and purchased through, again, donor dollars. Um, and then we talked about when they're in their individual spaces, they might need some basic care needs. Maybe they don't have a toothbrush. Maybe they need, a shampoo or whatever. We take care of these kids with, again, the support of donor dollars.
And
So
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, so Nico, right, spends a lot of time early years in the emergency department, a lot of time in the pediatric unit, and then he continues his care, within the network of the Salinas Valley Health Medical Clinics. So he's kind of a little guy who's essentially connected to this network for life for the type of care that he needs.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, he's also a kid that is so full of life and so expressive and fun, and he wants to learn. He wanted to learn Magic the Gathering when we did our little tournament, and he wants to be a baseball player. Last time I heard, his like goals to be a baseball player, and
Yeah.
these are
And
these are
his
huh?
backup plan is to be a doctor if he doesn't make it as a pro baseball player. Okay,
Baseball player, doctor. I
or
mean, I'm just
doctor.
he's got
Yeah,
his future right there. Like his set. He might be a baseball player who's a doctor. I mean, you never know.
I know. You never know.
Uh,
And
but
then I also mentioned, because of his asthma, he's been a participant of asthma day camp for a few summers now,
mhm.
right? So he started when he was little and now into the teenage years. Now he's a junior camper, kind of like in a leadership role, right? Kind of guiding the little guys where he was once upon a time. And that's a big deal for him. But let me tell you a little bit about Asthma Day Camp, another program that is funded through donor support. And this is a program essentially where children who are maybe having a hard time managing their asthma are encouraged to attend. And the goal here is to empower them to take control of their critical condition
Mhm.
so that it's managed, but two, to walk away feeling like they're a kid just like anybody else. There's this common misconception that children with asthma can't be athletic or shouldn't be involved in athletics. They can't run, they can't hike, they can't swim because they're going to have an asthmatic attack. That's not true.
Mhm.
If your asthma is under control, then you don't have any limitations. So that's a big piece of what Asthma Camp focuses on, that empowerment of encouragement of, hey, you can do whatever you want. You have no limitations. This is run by our respiratory care team at the hospital. So these are professionals who are there creating a safe space to learn how to manage their condition. Their medications there, they're being taught how to administer it. And then they're doing all of the kind of scary things that they thought they would never do. They go out for hikes. They take them to the local swimming pool for a swim, right?
Yeah.
And no cost to them, no cost at all, because of the support of our donors.
And on that point too, something I thought at the that we got to experience at the kickoff was
Mm-hmm.
there was another one that was like accessibility but oceanside. So it's like um they were teaching people who normally would not be able or scared to maybe surf, like
Uh-huh.
teaching them how they can surf in a wheelchair or like feel the waves. And I thought that that one was so, and that one hit me so home because we live here by the beach. Like, that's something that every kid kind of wants to try at some point is
Right,
like surfing or waves or whatever. And
right. or something as simple as a visit to the beach. We live by the beach, but a lot of families don't go to the beach, or they have this kind of misconception that my child, because of their situation, can't go and shouldn't be at the beach, right? And what you're talking about is the Wahine Project.
Yes.
So, yes. So, yes, we have had the opportunity to help fund their program, and they're doing an amazing job, right? They're bringing children with their adaptive medical equipment to essentially have some sort of physical activity at the beach. So they're bringing children from the middle schools and the high schools as part of kind of their physical education curriculum. And they're taking them out to the beach and they're teaching them beach safety, ocean safety. And it's not even about getting in the beach and surfing in the water. It's really just being comfortable in the sun,
Mm-hmm.
being in the I'm sorry, the sand, and getting your feet wet, right? And some of them are feeling more encouraged and will go all the way through and maybe pick up a board or whatever that is. But we're actually very, very proud about our partnership with Wahine and the support that we're able to give them because of the access that children are getting that weren't getting before.
Yeah.
And there's also like a parent ed component to this program. So through the funding that we were able to provide to Wahine, the parents are also getting education on how to have a safe beach day at the beach and how you can enrich your child's experience. Um, and then
I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's incredible.
and Wahine talks about the benefits of just being out in the beach, right? So a lot of parents with children with different abilities tend to have some stress, and just the mere fact of getting out to a
Mm-hmm.
beach is therapeutic in itself. So they talk about the value of just getting out there, right? So there's you hit the program from different angles and you'll find different impact and positivity from that program.
There were a handful of other programs that I remember. Again, we talked about aqua and equestrian therapy,
Mm-hmm.
and there's one more that's a little bit of a somber topic as well. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
where if a baby were to pass away while in the hospital, the hospital will put together a box
Mm-hmm.
to give to the family that has like their footprint or some kind of like their first blanket or something like that.
Yeah.
That was another big one too.
Yeah. We have a perinatal loss committee at the hospital, and anytime there is a perinatal loss, that group rallies to support the families, and they do put together this box. This box, a lot of those pieces are donated from a mom who once experienced loss in the hospital,
Hmm.
right? So she's kind of paying it forward in that sense because she's coming from a place where she experienced it, right? So she wants to support moms in that space. Where donor dollars come into place is we will cover the cremation cost of these losses of these babies, no questions asked, right? If you had a loss in our hospital and you want your baby to be cremated, we will support and fund procedures.
Go.
Yes, so the perinatal losses in the hospital, like I was mentioning, we will cover the expenses of that cremation process. No questions asked. If there was a loss, then we will support it, and we are able to fund it through donor dollars. So we're very grateful for that support as well.
Yeah, it's amazing to see not just the effect that those donor dollars have on the kids, but also their families. I think that the families really get a lot out of it, and especially it takes a lot of stress and fear away from having your kid in the hospital. Um, being in the hospital and having your kid in the hospital is almost the same amount of fear and scariness.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that that's something that we here at Extra Life and can help provide a little bit of levity, even in the worst case scenario, you know. Um, but
You're
yeah, um, is there anything else that you'd like to touch on, or any shout outs you want to give,
Yeah,
or go for it? The
I
floor is yours, by the way.
yeah, I briefly mentioned our pediatric medical needs assistance grant program, right? Where I said we were able to fund Jessica's equestrian
Yeah.
therapy and her aquatic therapy. Um, but there are hundreds of kids that we help with this program, right? And I'm gonna list a couple of the items that we have purchased and the services that we have funded for these kiddos. And this is just in the last year, and it's just a few examples. But we've purchased medical carts for kiddos. So of course, kids in the home may have a lot of medical equipment or medication, and they need a safe space to put those away, maybe certain temperature, they need to be away from other children in the family.
Mm,
Medical cart. Your standard insurance program is not going to buy you a medical cart, but
gotcha.
our grant program will, right? We're paying for massage therapy, occupational therapy, bed wedges for children that are bedridden,
Hmm.
bed bed padding rails, suction toothbrushes, right? We have a child with a sensory processing disorder. A standard toothbrush is not doing the trick, right? So he needs a suction toothbrush.
Mm.
Is your insurance program going to cover that? No, it's not. But if you have limited funds and you really need this is your child's health that we're talking about. It's their
Their
dental
teeth,
hygiene.
yeah, absolutely.
Right. Right. Well, our program is going to buy that child that special toothbrush. Moving along, AAC devices. These are the augmentative and alternative communication devices that children with autism spectrum disorder who have a speech delay or a communication delay, they're able to utilize these tools to communicate. They're not cheap. First of all, you need something like an iPad, and two, you need the software or the application. We're
Mm.
talking over $1,000 for these pieces, and families who can't afford them will come to our program and we will fund those. In addition to that, we have also funded INR monitoring systems, adaptive clothing, portable generators, music therapy, weighted blankets, noise cancellation headphones, adaptive strollers, air purifiers, ankle foot orthosis shoes, exercise mats, etc. So essentially anything that a child needs for their medical benefit that the family cannot afford, we will do everything in our power to help that family and we will fund those items or services for them.
And obviously it's catered to every single child, every single situation is a radically different one. So these items
Mhm,
are tailor made for that specific individual, for that specific situation. And I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of situations that could be out there. And you guys
mhm,
really provide for each and every one when you can. And
mhm,
these donor dollars really help towards getting that individualized um, care that
mhm.
that they need.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So we're very proud of this program. And this is a program that touches children in every county in our market: Santa Cruz, San Benito, Monterey. All three counties are utilizing this resource. So we're very, very, very happy and fortunate to be able to offer the resource, and even more grateful that all three of our counties are tapping into the benefit.
And we're happy to be here again. We gamers, we love giving back as much as we can, and
Mhm,
um, this is an important cause. I mean, like, it can't be understated about how important it is that the children of today get healthy and happy lives, and also the ability to to just live, right.
Mhm.
I think that's one of the reasons why I do this is because I believe that every kid should be able to live out their dreams, and this is a way that we can really level the playing field almost. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And this
So
is where I want to celebrate you. These things are made possible because of people like you and your supporters. We can't undermine, I mean, the Extra Life program here in the Salinas Valley Health Network in the Tri-County area, the success that it has is primarily because of your involvement and your investment and your just encouragement and your network of friends and followers and supporters. Um, it's you guys really who are making a difference in this space. Extra Life is Ouija and the T cell community. But you are definitely leading the charge here. I mean, $10,000 raised every year for the last few years. This is a year where you're stretching yourself to 15,000. You're gonna do it. I just know it. You're almost at 11,000, aren't you?
yeah, we're very close to 11 already.
Yeah.
This is being recorded on the Wednesday beforehand, so now you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um, but we're getting close to 11. Our stretch goal is 16,000 and some odd dollars, because if we raise that stretch goal, that means that over the last 11 years we have raised $75,000 in total, which would be an incredible milestone, and
Rather.
it's really just a testament of what we can all do together, even a little bit by little bit. And I want to make that very clear that no one person donated $75,000. It was everybody doing a little bit at a time. We can all really give back and make the world so much better if we just all work together.
A
And
little bit of a time. That is key. That is very true. I mean, your donors are giving you $1, five
mhm.
dollars, $20. It's a little bit at a time, and it equates to thousands and thousands of dollars every year. That's impressive. And I know you've got some fun stuff in store for your 24-hour stream, some very fun challenges. Your friends love to see you in pain, so they will pay.
It's gonna be a tough one. I it's like the anticipation is so great, but also the dread is so great. I don't know what they want me to do with all these wax strips. There's 40 of them. Like, who knows what I could
Oh,
be, a naked mole rat at the end of this thing. You never
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Um
And the
but
hot sauce?
oh yeah, and all the hot sauce. We got a lot of hot sauce. I got two super special awesome costumes to wear
Nice.
if we hit specific goals.
Yeah.
And I love making this fun, and I love making this engaging. And if we can all do good while we have fun, like, I think that's the goal. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. You do it very well. So thank you so much. In preparation for your upcoming 24-hour stream, I celebrate you and I wish you all of the success in the world. I will be tuning in. I will be making donations for some of the challenges because, like your friend, see some fun stuff.
oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you, Leonella, and I want to put this out there real quick. Um, Ever since being able to meet you and your team, and back in the year before you was Melissa, it's really lit a fire under me to do as much as I can. Um, Seeing meeting the kids, seeing the staff, getting to meet them, and asking what their needs are, what their number one need is, taking a tour of the hospital, like, and just recently we got to go. I got sent by you guys really to Extra Life Unlocked, and I got to meet a whole bunch of other Extra Lifers, and again staff members and hospital people, and a ton of kids and their families, and that has just turned it up to like 14 on the dial. And I just want to really put it out there and say thank you to you and your team for reaching out to me and just making this so much better every year. You guys just
Yeah.
hit it home, and ever
Yeah.
since that first year, it's just been it's really made a big difference to me to see where the funds are going, who they're affecting, hearing the stories, and meeting the people. Like, it's just, and I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all of the investment you've put into us
Yeah.
extra lifers here too.
Yeah. No, no, thank you. I mean, it's a collaborative effort. We're here as a support, as a resource to share the stories, to share the impact so that folks have a clear understanding of where the money's going and what it's doing, right? But it's people like you who bring it to life and keep it going. So I think it's very much a collaborative partnership. That is kind of the secret sauce for having a successful extra life program.
Well, I'm excited to be your partner, and as said before, we're gonna be excited to be working hand in hand to do a bunch of different events here in the local level,
Mhm.
which is super cool. But I guess we'll end it here. If you have any last shout outs, if you want to plug the hospital or plug yourself or anything, the floor is again all yours.
Oh my God, last shout outs. I just want to your friends and your supporters stoked about this, and thank them once again for rallying behind you and making this Extra Life program what it is. So thank you guys. We appreciate you. We can't wait to see what's going to happen at the end of that 24-hour stream.
It's going to be a wild one. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And we're going to get back to the action. So we'll see you live later. You guys have a great day.